Hi, welcome to This Week in Baltimore Eating with Richard Gorelick. Join us here every Thursday at 12:30 to talk about everything food related in Baltimore. I'm Amanda. This is a very orange Richard. Why are you dressed like this?
It's home opener.
Yes, it is. Go!
Home opener today.
How about demos?
Down at Oriole Park.
Did we hear about any new foodstuffs?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's elote, the Mexican corn.
Oh, I love it with the cheese on it.
Mm-hmm.
The cotija.
And acai bowls.
I don't need that. I'm at the ballpark. I don't want that.
There's a new hot dog vendor because SK is gone after all these years.
Is it kosher?
There always was a kosher stand.
With knishes.
Right.
There's only ever one though, and it was like a real
plenty.
It's plenty, but if you're like in the upper deck all the way on one side, you had to walk all the way down or
if
get
you
it
wanted
on
a
your way
hot dog,
in.
you could bring your own food.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
You could always bring your own food.
Okay.
But if you insisted on having a hot dog at the ballpark and it needed to be kosher, you might have to do a little bit of walking.
I wasn't insisting on that.
Yeah.
I was just remembering from my old days working.
Yeah, they'll be back, but of course they're never open on Friday nights, the kosher place.
True that. That's true.
So, and a couple other new food items, too, that I saw. I'll be trying. I think I'll try the elote today.
What's that? That's the corn.
Yeah.
I love those corns. That's an awesome addition.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Tell us about it. I want to see a picture. You're going to show us all a picture later.
I will.
Okay.
I have this phone problem, though. My phone doesn't hold a charge very well.
Uh-oh. You got to get one of those little battery packs and just attach it.
I know. Anyone wants to... Oh, a sponsor. If a sponsor wants to...
Stop. Like what? A phone company?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'll mention them.
I'll
mention them.
Okay. Well, let's not.
I'll be very transparent about it.
Right. Of course, you have to be. We have sad news, right?
Yes.
Out of Fells Point this week.
Yes. One of Fells Point's favorite people.
Stay on the mic.
Died over the weekend.
Mike
Mazzariti.
Yes.
And shocked a lot of people. Mike was not that old and in good health, and people are coping with his death down there the best way they can by gathering together in their favorite spaces in Fells Point and remembering how much they loved him. So that's very sad.
And just for those who didn't know, he was the owner of One-Eyed Mike's.
Oh, One-Eyed Mike's. Longtime owner of One-Eyed Mike's, which he sold a couple years ago. He tried to run for mayor a couple of years ago, too.
Oh, I feel like I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, One-Eyed Mike's, I used to love that place.
One-Eyed Mike's was a great place, and a lot of great Baltimore hospitality industry people went through One-Eyed Mike's, and I learned from Mike how to be hospitable.
Did you?
Because that was always impressed me, how just friendly and great everyone down at One-Eyed Mike's was, and it wasn't by accident. It came from Mike.
And the food was
good.
Excellent. Was that? Is that a real definition of a gastropub? Because we're always trying to define gastropub.
I don't think they called themselves a gastropub, and I wouldn't call them a gastropub
tavern
either. I don't think Baltimore's ever had a gastropub.
I feel like all those things in the row houses that are also bars should be called gastropubs.
I don't think none of them should. I know.
This is one of those things we're just going to fight about forever.
Gastropub should be...
What's a real gastropub?
Chef-driven. Well, we've never seen...
Well, why isn't Peter's in a gastropub? Why isn't Annabelle Lee a gastropub?
Who's the chef at Annabelle Lee?
I don't know. Well, what about Jack's Bistro?
Maybe. That would be the closest to something I would call it. But then they would have to embrace the term gastropub, and it never really took on in the United States. It was always a British term.
I know. I want those things to be gastropubs. I don't know why. I just have that feeling. Okay, so I wanted to let everyone know something, some housekeeping, something. I started a This Week in Baltimore Eating Facebook group.
I saw that.
Which so far has just been the two of us talking at each other, sort of. But I wanted to create like a non-judgy discussion space where people don't make fun of you for being obsessive about certain foodstuffs.
Oh, and then I went ahead and made fun of you.
And then you made fun of me for being obsessive about certain foodstuffs. But it is a safe space, and we're going to cover some of the topics we cover here and anything else that's on your mind about Baltimore restaurants or Jewish cooking or Jewish restaurants in Baltimore
Yeah.
cooking or any of that. So to join us, please join us, facebook.com/groups/Baltimore eating. So I remember a couple weeks ago, I haven't seen you in a couple weeks, but I remember you asked if anyone had checked into Alex Brown Restaurant yet.
A few people have, and some people are saying the same thing. I think Kit Pollard reviewed it for Baltimore Brew, and her review said pretty much what other people are saying. They're really impressed by the space, but there's some kinks that have to be worked out.
Oh, because I checked out the menu, and there's
Yeah.
some good, it's a strange range, but there's like brisket,
No.
falafel, I know, and wait for it, you know what I'm going to say, right?
Shashuka?
Yeah, on the
Wow.
brunch menu, which now I need to get down there for brunch, right?
Did you do the Trader Joe's starter
I haven't
kit?
made it yet. That's one of the things, you guys, that we were talking about in our new group. Trader Joe's just came out with a shakshuka pre-kit.
We should bring people up to date on shakshuka.
Oh, you don't think they know already?
We might have
Talk about it all
We
the
might have some new
time.
listeners.
All
Welcome.
right. Once again, and this is my special food obsession. Shakshuka. It's Middle Eastern or African or Mediterranean, and it's a spicy tomato sauce, usually made in a skillet, and then with 2 like runny eggs on it. And then you can do whatever else you want, but that's the basics, and it's the best. It's just like good hangover food. It's good brunch food. It's good party food, and you sop it up with like pita or a nice baguette. So I just discovered Trader Joe's made its own like starter kit.
And what doesn't the starter kit have?
The eggs.
The eggs.
You just have to add the eggs.
That's tomato?
Yeah, it's like a frozen packet
Wow.
of the mix. I haven't tried. It's probably not going to be that great, but I'm super excited. You guys can tell us here what you think about shakshuka and if you've tried Trader Joe's, or you can
Alexander
join.
Brown.
Oh, yes, tell us about Alexander Brown too. And you can join our group and talk about it. They also have crab beignets at Alexander Brown that I think I'd like to have.
Crab beignets.
Yes.
hmm
So, where have you eaten? Where have you been?
I took someone who had never been to Di Pasquale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then I went to Trinacria just yesterday.
Oh, they reopened. No, the market.
The original market. Trinacria.
I love it in there.
Macaroni Works. So on Paca Street, or Paca, depending on where you're from. That's still so much fun to go to.
Oh, I love it in there.
The Di Pasquale on Gulf Street has the bigger selection, and you can eat there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something so charming about a visit to the cramped confines.
I
of
know. It's nice. You just go,
Trinacria.
and it's only got just what you need. It's not like you're going to have a zillion selection of something. You need some olive oil and some wine and some pasta. Go in there and pick it up.
Got that
Did you-
prosciutto bread.
Oh.
And then I got I like salami and provolone sandwiches.
Do you?
With the muffaletta sauce
Uh-huh.
on their rolls.
Do they have their own muffaletta sauce, or is it just a brand that they're selling?
They sell it under their name. They might, who knows? God only knows where they scoop it out from. But they sell it under their own name.
Nice.
I don't think they make it.
So
Maybe I'm wrong.
So wait, you had a sandwich at both places? Or just at...
No, I've been making sandwiches from the stuff I bought.
Oh, good. But what did you have at Di Pasquale?
I bought some fresh pasta
Mm-hmm.
and some meatballs.
Mm-mm.
Because I'm into meatballs.
Was your friend who was with you an out-of-towner, or had just never
no,
gone
a
over there?
Jersey girl. So they know how hard they are to impress with Italian food. And so she ordered the Italian sub.
Yeah.
And was pretty thumbs up. Not like, and not
Like a
thumbs
little,
way up. Like
thumbs
it's
medium.
It's okay.
Thumbs-
It's decent.
Okay.
They're so weird about their subs. Jersey people.
Yeah, they have legit ones.
And only the way they do it is the right way according to them. Which doesn't make...
Well, that's how Philly people
Yeah.
are like that about their things. I don't think I got to tell you about my lunch with Hauser. Speaking of Hauser,
Oh.
or maybe we weren't speaking of Hauser. I think we were. We went to Lee's Pint and Shell in
I've
Canton.
never been.
It's great. I super love it.
Lee's Pint and Shell. Where is that?
I don't know. It's in Canton, one of the H streets. But I think it's his local because he seems to be kind of a regular there.
Hauser! He screamed when he walked in.
No, they didn't.
They didn't?
No, they didn't. I was there before him, and I didn't know that there was even an upstairs. It used to be something that I used to go to. Sauté.
Oh,
It used to be
Sauté.
Sauté.
I never went to Sauté.
Yeah, I used to like Sauté. But I didn't know that. I sat downstairs at the bar, and he comes in and he's like, "What are you doing down here? Let's go up." I didn't know. I didn't know there was an option. But we had some oysters, and I had a crab Benny, because that's my second favorite brunch option after shakshuka. He had a shrimp salad sandwich, and he let me eat one of the shrimps, and it was a pretty great shrimp salad sandwich. And then they had those floppy fries, and you know how I feel about. I like the floppy.
She likes the floppy.
I like the floppy fries.
She likes your flies flaccid. But when you're over at Alexander Brown, did you say they had a crab Benedict or crab beignet?
Beignet.
You did say crab beignet.
I said crab beignet.
Wow.
Right. I happen to know on good authority that Glenn, this guy over here, is headed to New Orleans for some foodie adventures. So he's going to have some beignets and some muffaletta sauce.
What's a famous place for beignet?
The Café du Monde. But you don't have to go there.
What?
Glenn, you don't have to go to the Café du Monde.
Where would you go to get a beignet instead?
There's a place across the street. There's places everywhere.
That's what I've heard. Because I got up early enough so they didn't have to wait in a line at Café du Monde. But then I saw the lines, and they were like,
I actually, there's a place right across the street that I actually totally loved. I didn't even need to go back to.
But the store, the little grocery store that sells a muffaletta, is totally worth it.
Oh, I don't know where that is.
Yeah, it's Google.
Okay, good. It's like just a counter.
Yeah, it's a little grocery store that has a deli counter. But that was super worth it, and it seems like completely real and authentic and not touristy, as opposed to Café du Monde.
Café du Monde is just it's like a photo op. But I mean, it's good. It's super good. But you can get all the good stuff everywhere.
New Orleans.
If you just got here, you're watching This Week in Baltimore Eating with Richard Gorelick. It's opening day. Like, share, comment, and follow us at #JMoreEating. Do you know what I did on Saturday?
No, please don't tell me.
I took myself to breakfast at Atwater's at Belvedere Square because I was like, I should leave the house today.
And you sit down and they wait on you there, or
you can. I mean, yes, that's what I did. I sat at the counter.
Okay.
And I even ran into people, and I did some networking. I was very sociable.
Like,
I was exactly like mwah 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 mwah. Although that could get me in trouble doing that.
That's right.
Let's not talk about that. But I did not have the shakshuka. I had a pretty much perfect goat cheese asparagus omelet, and it was yum. And they make the potatoes the way I like them, with like the sautéed onion and a little bit of green pepper, and they're not big, huge chunks. I like those kinds of potatoes.
Oh, speaking of big, huge chunks, I went down to. Did I tell you R&R Taqueria?
I think you told me, or maybe you told me you were headed there.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago because I was going to it. To get some. Anyway, I was down in that neighborhood, and I stopped at R&R Taqueria, which started in a gas station over in Howard County somewhere.
Okay.
This is the third R&R Taqueria, but it's not a taqueria. We talk about this a lot. It's a full-blown Mexican restaurant.
Oh,
it's like a restaurant.
Right.
On a weird corner of Lombard and Charles, on a ground floor of a parking garage.
What did you eat that had big chunks?
Oh, the tacos. You have chopped onions as a garnish.
Oh, too much onion.
Yeah.
Too much onion.
But then my friend Mike went last week, and he said that he had the most beautifully presented dishes of anywhere that he's eaten in Baltimore. He thought the dishes that he had were astonishingly beautiful.
Wow.
And he had lots of different things.
Did he eat the weird stuffs?
Yeah. Some weird stuff, but also some guacamole and...
I love me some guacamole.
But he was singing its praises. There's something weird there, though. When you sit in the booths, whatever you're sitting on, like the banquettes, the tables are too high or the booths are too low. I thought it was just me when I went.
It was like at the
so
kitty
weird,
table.
right? Because you're like, and then I moved to the bar because it was so weird. And I thought, oh, no, Richard, it's just you and your weirdness. And then that was one of the things that Mike told me about his visit. He said, someone sold them those booths.
Or they cut all the chairs off or the legs off.
It's really, I was so glad he said something, because usually I think it is just my weirdness.
It's really weird.
And so be aware of that.
Beware of that. Bring your tall
or
self.
Or sit at the bar if you don't.
Okay.
Check it out, R&R Taqueria, more than just a taqueria. Be a little bit adventurous when you order, I would say.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other restaurant news or
Nope.
tidbits that you want to talk? I heard that Clementine is going to become Char'd City Pizzeria.
Yeah. It's good for those people up there.
Yeah.
Lots of people
I like
who
pizzerias.
eat out up in those neighborhoods.
Family place. I do have one more thing to mention. It happens to be local dining week through Sunday. And this event spotlights more than 50 independently owned Baltimore restaurants. It's sponsored by Community Wealth Builders, and I think there's like 100 diners at each restaurant gets a voucher for an Orioles ticket.
What?
Speaking of, I know, right?
Because their Orioles are one of
The Orioles partnered with them,
partners.
yeah. So your favorite, Eki Ben, is participating, as well as Wicked Sisters, Miss Shirley's, Johnny's, Abbey Burger Bistro, Red Star, Be More Lyrics, etc., etc. Find more info about that on Facebook at Local Dining Week Baltimore.
Local Dining Week Baltimore. What fun! And they have all sorts of the press release, interesting statistics about why we promote eating local, because it's about keeping money in our economy.
We got to keep the money here.
So the
That's right.
same dollar you spend at a locally owned restaurant does something different than the dollar you spend at a nationally owned chain.
There you go.
Just a fact.
That's a good fact. Support them. Support your
Or
local
those are the
restaurants.
facts that the press release had. So they must be true.
All right.
And Passover
Yeah.
is coming.
It's coming. I thought we could wait till next week,
We
but
could wait till next week. No.
We can talk about it.
Get people excited
Definitely
about
start
matzah-
thinking about matzah recipes and creative
Matzah
uses.
brie? Do you say brie or brie?
Brie. It's brie.
Brie.
It's definitely brie.
Okay.
I'm just declaring it's brie. I taught Hauser what that is.
Yes.
He didn't
We
know
keep
about
mentioning
it.
Hauser, who's
Hauser's like
both
a
a friend
food
of ours,
god.
but a food writer and a
Podcast.
co-host of the Rude Cooking School podcast, and a friend to our show. And,
Yes.
So
I taught
told
him.
about
So he's
matzah
gonna make
brie.
us a recipe for Jamar. And what he was excited about was that you can have it savory or sweet, right? Do you eat your matzah brie with jelly or with sour cream or something else I never thought of? I always eat it with sour cream, but some people do jelly,
I don't think I do
which
either.
to me is weird because it's sort of like a replacement scrambled egg.
Yeah.
So like, why would you have jelly with scrambled eggs? But maybe someone does that somewhere.
Well, except the Baltimore egg sandwich sometimes has grape jelly as a default. Like if you don't say no jelly,
Are you kidding?
no,
How did I never know this?
because it's sort of in.
It's like a dirty secret.
No, it's not in every neighborhood. But like if you go
Like
to
real Baltimore.
yeah,
Like-
if you order an egg sandwich and don't say no jelly, you'll get grape jelly.
That is such a good tip, you guys. We learned that here today. I didn't even ever know that. That's crazy.
To me, that's like a real Baltimore. We talk about burger cookies.
yeah,
but
right.
This
No,
is like
that's legit.
because I don't think that happens anywhere else.
I've
Jelly on
never
the side.
heard about it. But yeah, so start thinking about what you do with your matzah, and then we'll share Hauser's creation when he gets into it.
I do love matzah brie though.
I'm all right with it. You have been watching. I guess our time's
people's
up.
call.
You have been watching This Week in Baltimore Eating with Richard Garlick. For more food fun, sign up for This Week in Baltimore Eating newsletter at jmoreliving.com/newsletters. Tune into Weekend Agenda tomorrow when Carlos Ulloa of Mezcal and Felicity Carmody of Suburban Club join us to talk about The Taste. And we're out of here.
And I'm headed down to Oriole Park.
Have fun.
Opening day.
Eat a corn thing.
Gonna eat a elote and acai bowl.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.